Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Litany of Catholic Martyrs for June 4th. I would like to remind you to pray for those families who have loved ones who were martyred on Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka. I do this ministry because in today's modern church, the homilies, and even just in general, nobody speaks of the martyrs anymore. In the order of the Triune God and the Blessed Mother and the saints, the martyrs are next. And Christ is the King of martyrs. We can't forget these people, because as the martyrs go, so goes the church. When the church is in trouble, the martyrs sacrifice and offer their blood, and this is in a secular world that is moved into a spiritual world, or through osmosis, or not osmosis, but through a transition. The things that are done in this secular world by the martyrs is looked upon by God and embraced and loved, and so goes the church. The first 4 centuries, every pope was martyred. They were killing off Catholics much worse than they're killing them off now. And I know that in the East, in the Middle East, they're murdering them left and right. But Nero and Diocletian and Galerius Maximus, and those crazy Roman rulers were trying to kill everyone in the church. And in essence, what they were trying to do, and maybe this is what we need to remember. What they were trying to do, when they kill a martyr, when they sacrifice a martyr, when they murder a martyr, 2 things are done. One good, one evil. The evil thing that is done is they are, in essence, using that human being as a surrogate for Christ. Now, we see that as Catholics. We see that as a wonderful thing. In many of the James and John, let us suffer the way that you do suffer, Lord, and God allowed them to have that. And that's how the martyrs see things. So in this world, when someone is martyred, the secular world sees that as they're not just killing this person. They are murdering Christ. On the good side of that, that's exactly what we want. The Lord loves that. He embraces that because we gave ourselves up. We don't think about ourselves. We think about our service and our love for the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And the world, who is blind to that through their own hatred and anger, cannot see the beauty of the love of the Father, because this life is God's life. All life is God's life, but this life especially, this 70 or 80 years that we're here, is God's life. It's not our life. And we give it joyfully. Hopefully, if we have the strength and the faith, we give this joyfully. So anyway, I do this because I don't want people to forget the martyrs and who we are, and who they are. And that's another thing. The ultimate sacrifice is our lives for Christ. But each and every day, as we are buffeted by this secular world, and we hold up under that, and we still remain faithful, and we still love the church, that too is a sort of martyrdom. Don't forget that. So let's begin at Agnone. In Abruzzo, St. Francis of the noble Neapolitan family of the Caracciolo's confessor, and founder of the Congregation of the Minor Clerks Regular. He burned with an admirable love of God and his neighbor, and a most ardent desire to propagate devotion to the most holy Eucharist. His body is religiously honored at Naples. He was inscribed on the Catalogue of the Saints by Pope Pius VII. At Rome, the holy martyrs Auretius and Datian. At Sisek in Illyria, in the time of the governor Galerius. As bad as Commodus was and all those, and Nero, Galerius was supposed to be the worst. Saint Quirinus, bishop, Prudentius relates that for the faith of Christ, he was precipitated into a river with a millstone. You don't know if you know a millstone, it's this giant rock that had a hole in the center. that was tied to his neck. The reason I bring this up is because of this next line. But as the stone floated on the water, he exhorted for a long time the Christians who were present not to be terrified by his punishment, nor to waver in the faith. And then God heard his prayers to be drowned, that he might attain to the glory of martyrdom. At Brescia, Saint Cleteos, bishop and martyr under the Emperor Nero. In Pannonia, the holy martyrs Rutzilus and his companions. At Arras, Saint Saturnina, virgin and martyr. At Tivoli, Saint Corinius, who was a martyr. At Constantinople, Saint Metrophanes, bishop and renowned confessor. At Milevis, in Numidia, Saint Optatus, bishop, celebrated for learning and holiness. And finally, at Verona, Saint Alexander, bishop. These are the men and women that we honor today, men, women, and children that we honor today for their sacrifice for the church. And through their sacrifice, we have a church today. God bless each and every one of them. Remember them in your prayers. Remember their families in your prayers too as well. I know they're all gone, but still remember the families. Pray for the dead. Thank you all for listening. God bless each and every one of you, and have a good day. Bye-bye now.